The crushing defeat of the Holy Roman Empire at the Battle of Valencia has recently ended the Iberian Crusade in favor of the Andalusians, the retreating armies leaving the Frankish Emperor dead on the battlefield alongside his only son. In the aftermath, the throne was hastily occupied by the late emperor's old and loathsome uncle Lothair, who is yet to produce a legitimate heir. Should Lothair die without a successor, his passing would not only mean extinction of a Carolingian dynasty, but would also bring great turmoil within the Holy Roman Empire and its immediate neighbors. My name is Quagersall, and welcome to Antebellum in EU4. A few weeks ago, I did a mod spotlight on the Scandinavian Overhaul mod, and had a lot of fun doing that video. So when I decided to do some more of these videos, it felt natural to do one on possibly the best EU4 mod in existence. This mod has an amazing array of features. There are new nations all over the map with new decisions, events, and national ideas, along with updated mission trees for more than 90 countries. The map has received a massive overhaul with over 70 new provinces, several new wastelands, and significant cultural changes. They've added new religions and religious mechanics, new technologies, new advisors, new buildings, new holy orders, new government reforms, along with an entirely new age, the age of industrialization, and an extension of the timeline to 1900. There's of course a tremendous amount of lore in this mod, with detailed histories of all the map changes and the reasons for so many new countries and border changes. They set up bookmarks and lore startup screens to help immerse you in Antebellum's rich history. And they also have an active Discord where you can ask the lore masters anything you want to know. They've also added a feature that, as far as I know, is unique among EU4 mods, in that if you play this mod in Iron Man mode, it has its own set of custom achievements centered around some of the most interesting or difficult starts in the mod. Antebellum is continually updated and one of the most stable overhaul mods for EU4 I've seen. It's a joy to play, and I look forward to exploring it more with you guys in this video. Stay tuned to the end though, because I've gotten a sneak peek from Parmaline himself of the next update for Antebellum, the Dragon Throne. With so many things in the mod, it can be a bit overwhelming to experience it all. So instead of showing you everything, I want to highlight some key countries and how the game can be fun in different ways, and focus more on the gameplay enhancements and features. Luckily, the new bookmarks in the mod do a great job of focusing you in an area and giving you a primer on the lore and background of that area. The lore I read at the beginning of the video was actually straight from the first bookmark of Antebellum. It focuses on the core story of a clash between a radically altered Holy Roman Empire and a powerful Andalusian Muslim nation that's never suffered through the Reconquista as in our timeline. This area was recently further expanded in the 1.4 Empire's Downfall update, just after the Emperor DLC hit for the main game. I actually did a short Let's Play as Andalusia back then, and had a whole lot of fun. My buddy Chewy did one as Francia, around the same time. Now, as you can see, the religious makeup is quite a bit different than what you would normally expect in 1444. This is where the mod shows its history, having originally been conceived as a diverged timeline from around the 11th century, but later being brought forward into the EU4 timeframe. With Jerusalem and other Catholic Crusader states present, plus a Muslim Sicily and a fractured Anatolia, this area of the world, which was the focus of the first major update of Antebellum, Rite of Conquest, is super interesting to play. Along with those that I've mentioned, Bulgaria, the Byzantines, and the Nizarids, this universe Egyptian dynasty, or any of these Beyliks up here, attempting to form this mod's version of Rum, are super fun starts. Far to the north, the Scandinavian and Baltic states lay fractured. Riga, Danzig, Poland, and Sweden represent the only Catholics in a sea of Slavic, Romuvan, Norse, and Sumenesco religious states. Delayed by the failures of Catholicism in the south, the Baltic Crusades have only just begun. This area was the focus of Antebellum's second major update, Pagan Fury. Just to the south and east, the map is even more fractured. With the Mongol Empire's influence only now receding, the successor states to the once powerful Kievan Rus vie for control. Kiev, White Ruthenia, Chernigov, or even a tiny Muscovy are interesting starts here. And without the normally powerful Muscovy, Novgorod is a potential beast of an enemy to face in this area. Overall, there are a ton of interesting starts in Antebellum. The mod does a great job of pointing out several of the best countries to start if you're new. You can take the reins of Francia in the midst of a succession crisis and decide whether to attempt to unite the Holy Roman Empire or to break away and build a Frankish Empire of your own. They start the game with access to the powerful Imperial Idea Group. This is one of the new idea groups in the mod and gives numerous bonuses to diplomacy, imperial growth, and even vassal acceptance. Pretty cool. Or you can take control of Andalusia, who has their own issues at the start. Assuming you can pull the nation through the civil conflict brewing in 1444, you'll be at the helm of one of the best starts in the game. Parmelian himself described these guys as if Spain and the Ottomans had a baby when I was looking for who I should play first. Their mission tree is massive and gives you plenty of colonial opportunities, trade opportunities, and you get to lock horns with a powerful Francia and a massive Nizarids. To stand up to these foes, you're probably going to want a strong and professional army. Well, you're in luck. There's a professional ideas group in the mod that will help you tangle with strong French or Egyptian adversaries, especially in the late game. Artillery damage from the back row is a very interesting one here, but there's all kinds of morale and tradition modifiers, and it pairs pretty well with a few other things. Egypt under the Nizarid dynasty is a powerhouse, with a mission tree set up to have you conquer from Iberia to India, and everything in between. Once you have this massive empire set up, larger than any historical caliphate, you're going to need some help administering it. Antebellum has a state governance idea set, which should help you reduce the governing capacity burden of larger empires and help you get more out of your vast holdings. Just yesterday, Parmelian dropped the governing reform mini update, and part of that was actually this little thing here. These are colonizable oases in the desert, and are much more immersive, I think, for a map of Egypt. You can colonize these two with a colonist, and I believe there might be some events that will eventually see you filling these up, expanding Egypt's borders in a more natural way. I love that little touch. There are so many interesting starts in Antebellum. One of my favorites is to take either Upper or Lower Burgundy, who each get a chance to form a union on the other early game with the Kingdom of the Arles event. And once they're able to force that union, you can reunite the Arles diplomatically, or you can do it by force if you'd like to. And you'll form the Kingdom of the Arles, which has a really cool mission tree. Now, of course, it's usually a good idea, if you're playing to try to become the Emperor of the HRE, to vassalize or union electors so that you can secure their votes. As long as you can keep the other ones in line, you should be able to become the Emperor pretty quickly. In the main game, if you do have a union and you're able to inherit that union, not by integrating it here, but by dying and getting a free inheritance randomly based on your Diplo rep and things like that, you're actually able to inherit their vote as an elector here. But in Antebellum, even when you integrate a subject through Diplo points, you'll get this event, electoral inheritance. It's going to hurt your relations with the Emperor and the rest of the electors, but you can take their slot. So now you have a vote. And this works even with vassals. Integrate your vassal states and you can take their slot as well. With this process, you can eventually have all the votes in the HRE and control it completely, which I think is an amazing little addition to the mod. And I believe it's from another mod that he's incorporated, but I think it's an awesome little touch. Now, of course, the traditional head of the HRE in this time frame is Austria, but they don't exist at the start in Antebellum. If you want, though, you can form them, and if you do it as Tyrol through their mission tree, you'll eventually be able to get their achievement. Achievement earned. Now, you have to be playing in Iron Man mode for this to occur, but this is a really nice touch. Parmelian knows that a lot of people, like me, use achievements to kind of guide your play and give you interesting things you might want to try in the mod or in the game itself. But since he can't access achievements in Iron Man mode because of a mod altering them, this is the way that he does it. I think it's a really cool idea. Another nation that has an Antebellum achievement is Ruthenia. This mod stand in for Prussia, but he's Romuvan. The Romuvan religion has deity mechanics similar to Hindu and seems to be pretty powerful. Now, they're not the only nation that is Romuvan, but if you follow the mission tree, you're going to eventually probably eat the other two guys that have it, or three, but he's a vassal of Lithuania. Their achievement involves getting 120% discipline, and you'll pop the achievement. Pretty fun campaign, I think. Some of the other achievements include Greatest Moravia for becoming a #1 power as Moravia, Third Empire for completing the mission tree and proclaiming the Bulgarian Empire, and there's also harder ones like All Roads Lead to Rome for forming Rome as the Knights Hospitaller of Rome, or Reconquista for taking one of these three guys and conquering all of Iberia by 1500. Check out the Discord if you're interested in the rest of them, and he also has a list of ones he's adding in the upcoming 1.4.5 update, which is coming very soon. And this is even before the next major update, the 1.5 Dragon Throne update we'll talk about in just a little bit. Now, along with interesting starts and expanded and massive mission trees all over the map, this model also has interesting and new unique government reforms. You'll see some here as Byzantium. Byzantium has a few of them here, and a mini update that Parmaland dropped just yesterday has added more government reforms all over the map. Mini updates are something that Parmaland does in Antebellum from time to time between his major updates. The last one was the Latin Empire update, and it allows smaller Catholic nations that are able to capture Constantinople to form the Latin Empire. It's got its own missions, it's got its own ideas, it's actually a really fun campaign. As your empire grows in Antebellum, it's a good idea to build up a road system. Roads are available to be built and don't require their own building slot, much like universities. They help you to develop your nation, spread trade, and move troops, and even spread institutions. As time and technology advances, you'll eventually be able to pave and make your roads a lot better, culminating into a railroad system established at Admin Tech 30. Now, this is not quite as close to the end of the game as it seems, as the timeline has been extended out to 1900, and technology can be advanced all the way to level, should probably have figured that one out. In the later parts of the game, Parmaland has added the Nationalism Institution, available at 1800. He's also added a fifth age, the Age of Industrialization, to the end of the game. He's modified the unique age bonus to fit the mod. There's a 20% province war score cost for the Nizarids, global settler for the Andalusians, morales of army for the Swedish, and aggressive expansion impact reduction for the Moravians. In the Age of Reformation, he's added missionary strength for the Iberians, core creation cost reduction for the Byzantines, goods produced for Poland, or the Intermarium, which is this universe's version of the Commonwealth, and reinforcement costs for the Persians. In the Age of Absolutism, he's added land fire damage for the Frankians, settler chance for the Norwegians. I believe these two might be the same. The Age of Revolution bonuses seem to be unchanged from the base game, but the Age of Industrialization is awesome. You've got modifiers like Scramble for Africa, building manufactories, getting 200 regiments, all kinds of things that fit for the time period. This tear down the walls decision lets you make more building slots in your capital, pretty cool. And the bonuses are Italian unification, Japanese industrialization, Pan-Slavic movements, German scientists, and of course, new things like rail movement speed, imperial ambitions, army academy, which is an amazing one. You always need more generals late game. Support artillery, urbanization, minority rights, and conscription. These are all really cool modifiers, and I love this idea of another age at the end of the game to add a little bit of flavor. I've never really been as excited about the Age of Revolutions and And even the Age of Absolutism bonus, all those are better than the Revolution ones. I really think the end game in this mod would be a lot better than the base game, which has a lot of room for improvement. And it excites me to see people's maps from like 1898 or right before the end of the game, and see how things evolved when you got to play all the way to the end. So I'd love to see them. Come on over to the Discord and show them off if you want to. And now let's jump in to a little bit of a preview of the next major update for Antebellum. While the Red Turban Rebellion may have failed to dethrone the Mongol invaders, it nevertheless succeeded in exposing the Great Yuan's weak spots. With everything south of the Yellow River in rebel hands, the Borjigin clan's claim to the Mandate of Heaven is weaker than ever before. To even the most disinterested, it appears that the empire which Kublai Khan has spent his life building may soon come crashing down. The Lord of 10,000 Years' court is paralyzed by vicious political deadlock, and even as the seams begin to burst, Yuan still hobbles along its doomed path. From the fearsome daimyo in Japan to the rugged merchant monks of the Tarim Basin, and even within the house of cards that is China, none can avert their gaze from the gathering storm. After all, whomever emerges the strongest has a chance to seize the most coveted prize of all, the Dragon Throne. This is a little sneak peek of the Dragon Throne, Antebellum's 1.5 update. It's got an entirely new map of this area of the world. As you can see, Yuan dominates. Ming does not exist and it's broken. China is broken up. He is the emperor. There's all kinds of new stuff coming in this update. New mission trees for Yuan, Ming, Qing, Liao, the Khintans, Mongols, Tibet, Korea, Japan. So many. There's this new bookmark. There's new estate privileges. There's new lore. There's new events and decisions. New playable and formable countries. There's even a new religion. Nestorian here. It's actually a Christian religion. It's a very, very old religion. I'm excited to see stuff like that come into the game. You can expect the 1.5 Dragon Throne update for Antebellum sometime, hopefully early next year. He's advertised that it's going to be compatible with a 1.31 patch, but obviously he's got to get that patch first and get it ready to put out. This version that I have here is a little early. There's a few things. It's very early, actually. He was a little hesitant to even show it to me, but he thought it'd be cool to show off a few of the things that are going to be available. So I'll show a few pictures of some mission trees and things like that, but just know that this is in early development. He is working on the 1.4.5 patch right now. That's got a whole list of achievements and other things that he's added in on his Discord, and this is going to be his big early 2021, hopefully, update for the mod. So look forward to that. I know I am. I'm definitely going to try out. I think Yuan is going to be interesting. I think the Koreans are going to be interesting. I think trying to unite China as one of the Han area here's guys would be pretty cool. I don't think Holstein would be a interesting choice, but I think that's a little bit of a bug. But he's got all kinds of things you can do over here, and I think it's going to be super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this look at my favorite mod for EU4. If you do decide to play Antebellum, or if you already have, let me know which nations you've had the most fun with down below in the comments, or head over to the Discord for the mod, or my own Discord, to post screenshots and show off a bit. I'd love to see them. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. How about checking out one of the other videos on the screen? Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more. It really helps out the channel. Comment down below with other videos you'd like to see, or head on over to the Discord. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.